Hi, this is Karen Thaxton with marketingwords.com and copywritingcourse.com, and today I want to talk with you a little bit about storytelling in your advertising and your marketing. This has been blossoming, the practice of storytelling, for years. It's always gone on as far as marketing and copywriting goes, but lately it seems like it's come into the forefront more. And the reason for that is because storytelling is very powerful. Just when you go out to lunch with a friend or a business associate and they begin to tell you how they just returned from a long business trip or maybe a family vacation and the flight was horrible. There was a problem with the plane, or there was severe turbulence and people were bouncing all over the place and trays were bouncing all over the place and the baggage compartments came open and suitcases are falling all over, and they were horrified. They were just scared for their lives. And as they're telling you this story, you're on the edge of your seat going, really? That's awful. I just can't even imagine. And they get down to the point that the only thing that kept them sane while they were going through this ordeal, the only thing that made them feel safe, was this one particular travel accessory that they'd purchased a few days earlier. Maybe it was something that helped keep them in their seat. Maybe it was some sort of device like an iPod or something to that effect that they could listen to soothing sounds. That part I'm making up, but you get the point, is that when somebody tells you a story and then they relate it to the use of a product or a service, then you instantly have a better opinion of that product or service. And if the story relates to what's going on in your life, you may even immediately want to go and investigate this product or service. So using storytelling in your copywriting is a very powerful thing to do. Now, let me show you some real life examples that I found online that use storytelling. The first one is a Symbicort commercial. I saw this on television. I've seen several of these videos that I'm going to show you as television commercials. You can also find these online. You wouldn't have to run TV spots and pay the enormous cost for doing that. If you didn't want to, you could certainly develop videos like the ones I'm getting ready to show you for your website, or to post on YouTube or something to that effect, to use as promotion. So let's take a look at this first one for Symbicort.
Before COPD, I took my son fishing every year. We had a great spot. Not easy to find, but worth it. But with COPD making it hard to breathe, I thought those days might be over. So my doctor prescribed Symbicort. It helped significantly improve my lung function starting within 5 minutes. Symbicort doesn't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden symptoms. With Symbicort, today I'm breathing better, and that means fish on. Symbicort is for COPD, including chronic bronchitis and emphysema. It should not be taken more than twice a day. Symbicort may increase your risk of lung infections, osteoporosis, and some eye problems. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. With COPD, I thought I'd miss our family tradition. Now Symbicort significantly improves my lung function starting within 5 minutes, and that makes a difference in my breathing. Today, we're ready for whatever swims our way. Ask your doctor about Symbicort. I got my first prescription free. Call or click to learn more.
If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
So did you see what happened in that commercial? The actor in the commercial, started out telling a story about something that was important to him. And he was speaking from, this was a script, obviously, because it is a commercial, but he was acting as though he was speaking from personal experience. And he set up the problem or the issue, or you could do it using a goal that somebody was trying to reach or something to that effect. He started off with that to make that immediate connection and to get your attention, and then led into how this product or service helped him overcome the problem, helped him accomplish a goal, whatever the original part of the story was, and then led into what I have always referred to as end results. You have features, you have benefits, and then you have end results. And the end results may or may not directly relate to features and benefits. For example, a feature of the Symbicort medicine might be that the pills are small. A feature of an attribute of Symbicort might be that there's no aftertaste, that it doesn't upset your stomach. The benefit of that medicine is that it helps you breathe better. That's why you would take it. That's why the medicine is important to the user. The end results, however, really don't have a direct link to the medicine itself. The end results that you saw at the end of this commercial were the grandfather going on the fishing trip that he was talking about missing. He was afraid he couldn't do that anymore. He was spending time with his grandson and his family. So the end result isn't directly linked to the fact that the pills are small and they don't upset your stomach, or that it helps you breathe better. All of those things come into play, but it allowed him to do the things he wanted to do with his life. It gave him freedom. It gave him the physical ability to go fishing, to walk to that spot that was far off but was worth the trip that he mentioned originally. So you get the idea of how these storytelling process works. Let's look at another one. This is from ADT, which is a home protection, home security company. Give a watch and a listen.
When I got the call from ADT, my heart started racing. I honestly never thought that someone would try to enter into my home without my permission. When I arrived at the residence, to my surprise, the officers had already received the call from ADT and had gotten there and apprehended the suspect. Knowing later that this intruder had a knife, it just made me think of how lucky I was to have ADT.
When it's your family, trust ADT Fast Response Monitoring to help protect against burglary, fire, and high levels of carbon monoxide. When seconds count, the experience of ADT matters. Now get ADT starting at just $99 with 24/7 protection just over $1 a day, plus a money-back guarantee. Manage your home remotely with ADT Pulse. Even keep an eye on your kids.
The person who took the call from ADT saved my home, my possessions, and he might have saved my life.
Get ADT for as little as $99 and save a lot more than money. Call or click today.
So you see, we have the same process again. You start out with a story that talks about a loss or not being able to reach a goal or whatever the problem, whatever the issue may be. You relate that to the product or the service that you're promoting. You describe the product or the service that you're promoting, and then you go back to the story and talk about the end results, those things that were oh so important that may or may not directly relate to the features and benefits of that product or service. I have a couple of others. Let's look at this one. This one is one of my favorites. This is from a snowplow called The Boss. This is a cool video.
I've been welding pretty much all my life. You could say it's in my blood. I learned it from my father, who learned it from his father. There are 100 ways to make a bad weld, but there's only one way to make a good one. But I believe that in a way, we're all linked together. The whole town can't get out of their homes in the morning. That whole town just shuts down. The work I do doesn't just hold together a plow. It holds together a family. It holds together a company, a town. It holds together everything. The way I see it, I'm not just making any plow. I'm making your plow.
Did you see the different approach in this one? It's still pretty much the same process, but we have this one telling a story from the standpoint of the employee, not from someone who was actually using the plow, but someone who was making the plow. And I love everything about this. The narrator's voice is very much connected to the types of people in the target audience that would manufacture these plows, that would purchase and use these plows. The music behind it was very well suited to what was going on. So everything in this commercial did a really good job. You just had that difference of it being from the manufacturer's standpoint, from somebody that worked at the plant, instead of from the customer's standpoint. But excellent job. Let's take a look at DirecTV. Now, if you've seen the DirecTV commercials on television, you know that these are just downright silly. But they get your attention. They use storytelling in a very unique way. And although I'm not sure that people would remember that they are DirecTV commercials, which is the entire point, you do need to want people to walk away from your storytelling remembering what your product or service is. I'm not sure that they accomplish that, but it is a unique way to use storytelling. So let's take a look at this 30-second commercial.
When you have cable and can't find something good to watch, you get depressed. When you get depressed, you attend seminars. When you attend seminars, you feel like a winner. When you feel like a winner, you go to Vegas. When you go to Vegas, you lose everything. And when you lose everything, you sell your hair to a wig shop. Don't sell your hair to a wig shop. Get rid of cable and upgrade to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
See what I mean? They've done tons of these, and they're all equally as silly. And it does capture your attention. You're watching to see what outlandish thing they're going to talk about next. But I can't say that it would remind me of who this company was or encourage me to go get their product. As a matter of fact, when I remembered this commercial and wanted to try to find it online, I actually had to purposely stop and think what the company was, and I couldn't remember. So while the storytelling is good, you do want to do a really good job of relating it to the product or service. So you can use it in videos on your website, on your blog. You can put a video up as a blog post, or you can do it on your website. Now, this is Christian Children's Fund website, and on here they have profiles of the children that are up for sponsorship. So if you scroll down, you can see, I don't know how to pronounce this child's name, Leticia, I guess, is a young Brazilian girl who lives with her mother and sister and brother in a slum area on the outskirts of the city of Fortaleza. Their simple home has brick walls, rough cement floors, and a clay-tiled roof. It is self-built and has rudimentary sanitary facilities. It goes on to talk about electricity and running water. The father's not providing for them. The per capita family income in that area is about $20 a month. But this child is outgoing. She's cheerful. She helps her mom with chores. She likes to jump rope. And it goes on to talk about things that help you get to know this little girl that needs to be sponsored so that she can have a better life. Here's something else similar for pet lovers out there. This is from the animal help site. It's like the breast cancer site, and then they have, the hunger website, the animal website, diabetes website, things of that nature. This actually has the stories of animals that have been rescued thanks to the help that the animal site has given them. So this guy up top, Captain Jack, joined the feral community in our semi-rural home in early 2009. It took a while to notice him because we already had 2 male tuxedos. Then one day they were both around at the same time. Inspection of Jack showed him missing his right eye from a recent cat fight, hence the name Captain Jack. I think that's a cute name. He was beaten up and gnarly. A trip to the vet took care of shots and neutering, but nothing could be done for his ruptured eye. We kept him in a spare room for about 2 weeks, and he was sort of friendly, but would swat and was hesitant. And it goes on to talk about what's happened with Jack since he was rescued, that he's the owner's new buddy and so glad that he came to stay with them. So very interesting use of storytelling here as well. And these are submitted by the people that have adopted these pets. I've seen stories from people that work at the animal site. So a wonderful way to use storytelling there. Here's another one. This is from a company called Extend Life. They manufacture natural supplements in New Zealand. And on their About Us page, they go into how it all began. In 1998, New Zealand native and his son began noticing so-called natural aging process, followed a healthy diet, began a quest, teamed up with his son. And then, as the story goes on, it talks about the challenges that Warren faced with medical issues and some other things going on in his life. He started looking into the insider's view of supplement manufacturing and was shocked to find out the information that he found out, that the public had really been deceived about what was going into over-the-counter supplements in most cases, and this is what brought them to the company. And then it goes into the principles that they use in the manufacturing of their supplements, and it later goes down and you see what's different about the company and their really outlandish satisfaction guarantee, which is for an entire year after you buy these supplements from them. So that's a really good use of storytelling as well on a company's About Us page. Another one is from Ben & Jerry's. This is also on their About Us page. Everybody loves the story of Ben & Jerry's. Started out in a garage, just fiddling around with ice cream, trying to figure out, all these different flavors they could do besides just strawberry and vanilla and chocolate. They met way back in junior high school and had a lifelong friendship, and it goes into then the principles that they use for making their ice cream, good old fashioned. They began churning it out with all these yummy ingredients. So it's really compelling to read the story behind how all of this got started. Then, this is one example I had to include in a storytelling video. This is one of the most popular uses of storytelling that I have ever seen. It was written a long time ago. I don't have an exact date, but I want to say that it was in the 60s or 70s. It was used as a direct mail piece, but something like this could absolutely be part of an email campaign, or maybe revise it just a little bit. This is from the Wall Street Journal, and this is the Two Young Men ad, as it's referred to by most people. Dear reader, on a beautiful late spring afternoon 25 years ago, two young men graduated from the same college. They were very much alike. These two young men, they both had been better than average students, both were personable, and both, as young college graduates are, were filled with ambitious dreams for the future. Recently, these two men returned to college for their 25th reunion. They were still very much alike. Both were happily married, both had 3 children, and both, it turned out, had gone to work for the same Midwestern manufacturing company after graduation, and were still there. But there was a difference. One of the men was a manager of a small department of that company. The other was its president. What made the difference? Have you ever wondered, as I have, what makes this kind of difference in people's lives? It isn't always a native intelligence or talent or dedication. It isn't that one person wants success and the other doesn't. The difference lies in what each person knows and how he or she makes use of that knowledge. And that's why I'm writing to you and to people like you about the Wall Street Journal. For that is the whole purpose of the journal, to give its readers knowledge that they can use in business. And then it went into subscription options for the time and what have you. Very compelling. Gets you interested and shows you absolutely the end results that came from one man reading the Wall Street Journal while the other man did not. I hope you have enjoyed this walk through the land of storytelling and you see uses for it in your own marketing. You could absolutely do articles in this respect. You could do blog posts in this respect. You could use storytelling principles in press releases. Absolutely, you could use it in email, and as we've seen in different varieties of website copywriting. Very interesting. I'm going to put some links to some information that I mentioned below on this blog post. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. I really would appreciate it if you would. If you want to get the links to the other information, you'll need to go to my Marketing Words blog, which is at marketingwords.com/blog. I'll leave that link below also, so you can just click straight over to it. And while you're there, over here you'll see there's an opportunity for you to sign up to get my Marketing Words newsletter that's going to give you real life helpful information just like this in articles and videos that will show you how to convert better and rank higher so that you earn more money. That's the whole purpose. You'll get copywriting and conversion information, SEO updates, case studies, webinar information, and a whole lot more. You, of course, can unsubscribe at any time, but I hope you won't. I hope you'll stick around. But I do encourage you, please, to subscribe while you're here. It's absolutely no cost, and you'll get a wonderful free bonus that will give you some more detailed, real-life, helpful information as well. This is Karen Thaxton from marketingwords.com and copywritingcourse.com. I hope you have a great week.